Yeah, I'm doing fine. It's actually an honor to sit here beside you, commentating D4. Honestly, it's been some time since I've talked to some of the D4 guys, but it looks like they're all holding up well. And now we're gonna see tonight at China how each of these drivers do. Obviously it's obviously a bit tougher because these are some of the best guys that are in Division One. In D4, it was pretty straightforward. I had two, three main rivals, and that was it. But in Division One, it's more like everybody has the same caliber of level, like at different tracks, and you never know who's gonna be fast where and there.
You guys really turned it on there in the second half of the season. You know, how much did you win the championship by?
I can't remember roughly, but I think it was over at least 100 points.
So certainly a seasoned expert by every meaning of the term. We got a lot of cars here on Outlaps. Funky, you and I both used to race in this division. Who is kind of one of your dark horse picks for the win tonight? Who's been leading the division as of far? I'm not actually familiar. You might know better than me.
Honestly, there's actually a bunch of dark horses here. You never know who's gonna be like good at certain tracks. I think some of the people could be like Redeemer. He usually sometimes he gets unlucky with his drives, but he comes out of nowhere and he can absolutely kill the competition tonight if he keeps a clean drive. A few other guys I can mention is probably SF. He usually comes in at the end of the race when all the drama's picking up, like Landon or Scenario 7, as an example. Uh,
That's a great way to put it.
but yeah, a bunch of these guys. I'm probably gonna see a few dark horses tonight, actually.
Yeah, funny enough, Redeemer has kind of become my de facto broadcast partner in the meantime, and he and I were talking strategy a lot today. Now, I'm not going to say it on the broadcast because I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but we have discussed quite a few things in behind closed doors, and I think he's, as Valtteri Bottas would put it, he's got a secret plan to come out and take the win.
Yeah, Redeemer usually comes out with different strategies. Always, when I was his teammate back in another league, he used to always talk to me about different tire strategies and always went for the alternate strategy. Never going for the soft medium or whatever the other strat was.
A, at a track like China, too, that might be the way to go. Speaking from experience, and you might be able to lend an ear as well. I went for the soft, hard play in my race, and it really didn't work for me, even before I got caught in a tussle with one of the other drivers. The hard tire really, this can be invalidated lap there for Redeemer, who was on for a good lap. 134 was the time, folks. We're going to be looking to set laps around the 132 to 134 range. But no, the soft to long strategy didn't really pay out. What did you go with in your D1 race, Funky?
I was gonna go for what most people did was medium to hard, but on my I think it was on my call lap, I accidentally spun and I basically could say I splashed part of my medium tires. So they were basically done after that, and I had to go for the soft to hard strat.
Yeah, that's tough, and it is hard to make it work here because those hards do have a second life, but they do have a second cliff. And as we have a couple cars go across the line, that is Roman Grosjean with a 132.8. Folks, that is not a typo. That is his gamer tag. Roman Grosjean and the Renault going 132.8. That is your provisional pole sitter. And Big Mr. Brown's just going to get him there with a 131.5. The D4 moderator himself. And it seems Night Shrimp has left the session. It's an AlphaTauri there all over the track. Not sure who that might be. But no, it's the tires are very touchy, and the Pirellis especially don't really know where they like to sit. in any range, and a track like China with so many high-speed entries and exits makes for a very interesting strategy mix-up, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of different things happen today. Speaking of Purple Sector 1-4, Get My Pipe, and if we got guys on the mediums, I think it'd be safe to say that this will be a dry race.
Yeah, it looks like that. If it was maybe a wet race and everybody was looking at the weather, most people would be on the softs. But yeah, it looks like it'll be a dry race today.
You Get My Pipe coming through to the end of Sector 2. No Purple Sector there. Maybe he's got a little bit more in him. Getting a nice toe from his teammate up ahead down the back straight. Let's see if that will work well for him. A little wide to the entry there into Sector 3. On board with the McLaren driver now on those medium striped tires. Excuse the lag, folks. It's a bit of a Wi-Fi issue tonight, but we'll do our best to power through. And there you have it, folks. Across the line. Get My Pipe. P3 with a 132.5. So, looks like a lot of people opting for the offset strategy to start. Not too many people going for the softs only. Father Korn on his outlap now in the Mercedes. Let's see, folks. You were saying, Funky? I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We have Surpriley on a hall lap right now. He's going for a second lap on his medium. It looks like he kept it pretty clean so far. Coming back down the back straight. DRS is gonna be open now. Let's see how fast he goes. He gets up to 330 k's. Coming out of the brake zone, should be braking at the 100-meter. Yeah. Turning it for the what I heard the PC guys say, the hairpin. Coming to the final corners. That was good. Staying out wide, DRS, up to the line. That's a 33.6. That's a really good lap.
Sprightly actually is my former teammate. He's a guy who, if I can speak from experience, he's very punchy. Last season there were a couple races where I was on the back foot, and it was nice to have a teammate like him who could definitely pick up the pieces when the pressure was on. Unfortunately, I missed half the season due to my move and technology issues because my wheel broke. But Sprightly did serve valiantly in the other Mercedes seat, and I'm very happy to see him here going P8 on a 2-lap-old mediums, no less. So great lap from him. Big Mr. Brown still with the pole sitting time of 1:31.5, and he's about almost a whole entire half second and some change clear there of SF.
Yeah, he's in a really commanding lead right now. Looking at the driving standings, it looks like Get My Pipe is in contention for the world title right now. He's 5 points ahead of Brownie Man, and he seems to be doing really well tonight. Right now, third on the mediums, only a full second behind his teammate on softs.
That's pretty solid. Wow. He's definitely looking to go on that optimal strategy here with a longer first stint. So you said so Get My Pipe is trying to fight off Brawny Man, you said. Is that right?
Yeah, there's only a 5-point difference between them.
So as it stands right now, he has the medal of him, but there is still more to see as this session continues. 9 minutes in, folks. Only 10 cars have set laps, yet to have a validated lap. It is Father Korn, Night Shrimp, Redeemer to coach, and bringing up the rear, it is Quick Tongue there on his outlap right now. On board now, though, we have our pole sitter, Big Mr. Brown, getting ready to start his next flying lap on those soft tires there. So he is really trying to just put it on pole and be done with it. I got to ask, Funky, on this track, what do you find are the trickiest corners for a lot of these drivers?
It's obviously definitely the traction zones. Like what Big Mr. Town is going through right now, the hairpin corner and the final corner. I feel like a lot of people invalidate either when going in or going out. They usually end up invalidating. Another corner is T1. Obviously, it's a long, winding right-hander. You need to stay wide out front, like Mr. Brown does right now, and like bring it in close, go out wide again, get the gears down to second, and after get the nice drive through there, and get good traction so you don't spin out coming through here.
Yeah, that turn out of the swirly bit there, I've always found the car likes to step out pretty
Yeah,
aggressively. If you're a little too, how do you say? Oh, and he's just going to invalidate there. Very unfortunate for the McLaren driver. But the rear end does like to step out through that exit for some reason. It's a lot of a weight transfer, I feel, coming out of the slalom.
yeah, just something odd there, honestly. Even I struggle. You need to just get the throttle dead right, or else you're going either to the left or the right.
If I may be so bold, Funky, what assists were you using while you were in D4 last year?
I actually never used any assist.
Okay, well, that explains why you won by 100 points.
It was a lot of fun though. Last year, my first ever division, like league, from anywhere. Before that, this was my first game, 2019. I only played career mode. Once I found league racing, it was like a whole different experience.
You know, and I will say this about league racing. Career mode is a lot of fun in its own right, and I'm absolutely one of those people that likes to play career mode. Um, but don't you feel like league racing adds an element of danger to the whole thing, like taking care of the car, not bumping into people, not making stupid moves? Like you really have to consider strategy, you consider the setup, you consider your teammate. Like all of a sudden it becomes very three-dimensional. And I'm finding that more and more. The more and more that I do league racing, I'm thinking more about all those kinds of things. How do you feel about that kind of thing, though?
Exactly that. When I say I play a race against the AI in career mode, I don't get that feeling of I'm racing somebody else. It's more like I'm racing a certain driver that's just gonna go through the track the same way as all the other ones. Like the AI usually bunches up in the first turns during like the race starts, and you just feel like you just go down the inside of like 5 or 6 cars. Just keep that's about
Hey,
it.
don't reveal my strategy like that.
But yeah, then after in league racing, you see everybody breaks late. They go in, they go for challenges. You have to be like, like you have to be wary of like not break your wing, and there's no flashbacks either. So like you can't just like uh, press the pause menu, rewind, and press flashback, which is what I usually do in AI races.
Yeah, and that is so true because you really do begin to understand the mentality of those split-second decisions. Myself, I had a moment in my race in PC Division 3 this week where I was going wheel to wheel with another driver through one of the fast left-handers there in Sector 2, and I pretty much had this decision to commit and hope that we made it through there clean or to back out of it and let him pass. And basically what ended up happening was we came together because he held his line, I held my line, and as things go in racing, you can end up getting into a lot of trouble. As Brodyman doesn't get into trouble there, it goes 132 flat there to go P4. But no, it is quite it's a jarring experience the first time you really begin to feel the pressure of, oh wow, I need to like not spin, or I need to like be very careful about how I choose. And it
Yeah,
puts the pressure on. It really puts the pressure on.
it looks like the battle's gonna be close between Big Mr. Brown and Ball Guy for right now. They're on the same strat. Only wow, that's actually I can't. What is that 3,000?
That would be, yes. Yes, good eye. 3,000ths of a second as Bald Guy heads back out in the SF 1000 here to go and set another flying lap. Folks, one more time, your starting order as it stands is Big Mr. Brown, Bald Guy Racing, Quick Tongue, Brawny Man, Ibina, SF, Roman Grosjean, Get My Pipe, Boosted, and Father Corn. In the Choose Your Own Adventure category, it is Sprightly, Ex-Physicist, Night Shrimp, Redeemer, and bringing up the rear, it is DeCoach. But no, you're absolutely right. I think Bald Guy here is going to do his damnedest to go ahead and put the challenge on, and I'll narrate this lap as he goes through the start-finish there. DRS wide open into turn one. Little yellow flags ahead, some slow cars. Letting off the gas there, kind of trail braking into the long right hand here, taking a wide entry into the slalom. Keeping it in second. A little bit of gas there. He's going to take it a little wide, look for the exit speed there, not try to cut himself off too much. It's good of the Alpha Tower to stay out of the way there. Into the hairpin just before the 50 board. Turning in, let's see how the exit is. Not the greatest exit. That could cost him. Now into Sector 2. Wide entry, of course, for the long left-hander. Shifting down to the fourth for the right. He's going to keep it in fifth. Never mind. There's fourth. Into the double lefty. Keeping it in third. Looking very steady through there. Oh, and he's just invalidated over the AstroTurf. That will undo that lap, folks. So, as it stands, he will have to pit, go back out again with only 2 minutes in the session. He has to hurry back as it stands. Funky, I gotta ask, do you have any good stories about qualifying late breaks?
I can't remember too many, but like, it's qualifying is honestly one of the key moments. But like when it comes to league racing, anything can happen. There can be like a huge crash in front of you, and you gain all the like. Oh, whoa, Father Corn.
Father Corn! My goodness, he came out of nowhere. Thanks for the heads up. Father Corn gonna go pull 2/10 clear of Big Mr. Brown. Father Corn in the black arrow there. Wow, fantastic smashing lap. There's the only way I can put that. Redeemer has yet to get a validated lap in, so he'll be looking to get on the board here. He's on his flyer right now as we speak with a little traffic ahead.
I was right. Redeemer on that alternative strategy.
Do you have a teammate on Alfa Romeo, Funky?
Sadly not. Well, it's Formula Rager, but he's been really busy lately, so I've been having to single-handedly carry Alpha.
So I was gonna ask then. So you don't have a teammate. Maybe I can speak for someone who does have one. I always try if the qualifying times between us aren't close, especially in league racing. Sometimes it's good to have the offset strategy so you have a second car in contention for like a safety car, basically early on.
Yeah, so that like main guy goes for like the soft tire, he gets the quick lap time. The other guy, if he doesn't have the pace for the track, he can go for the alternative strategy. And in the end, alternative, like you said, safety car can come out and it can pay dividends to either the soft runner or it can pay dividends to the medium runner.
Now, I'll be honest, at a track like China, I haven't found there to be too many safety cars as of yet.
Yeah, this is well, it's kind of hard to, I guess you could say, I don't really want to say it, but like crash in a way.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, unless you make some major mistake, even if you lose your wing, there's usually just a VSC. If like a car retires, it's a VSC again. I guess you could say it's a pretty big track too when you look at like the track width, I guess you say. So if there's an incident, I guess the game or FIA thinks that there's like enough space for the cars to be fine.
I'm really glad that the digital FIA always have a say. As Father Corn has decided to retire from the session, and SF has invalidated his lap.
No wait, I think he popped in a new lap.
Corn or SF?
SF.
I'm seeing a red track map on my screen, which would indicate to me that he has, in fact,
yeah.
not kept it
I was looking at the wrong thing.
in bounds. But you know who has is Big Mr. Brown. As he comes around the final corner now. Going to keep the car in one piece across the line. Let's see how he goes. Oh, he's gone pole! Big Mr. Brown, 2/10 clear of Father Corn. Big Mr. Brown is your pole sitter, folks. An excellent stonking lap by the McLaren driver. Your starting order, folks, real quick. It will be Night Shrimp, followed by Big Mr. Brown. That is your front row. Boosted GMC and Father Corn getting bumped all the way down from pole to P4. Behind them, it'll be SF, Bald Guy, Quick Tongue, Brawny Man, IB, and in your final points paying position, it is Roman Grosjean, but one more car has gone just a little bit faster as Boosted GMC pips in there, as does Bald Guy Racing and LDR Redeemer, a very respectable P7 on those medium tires. Behind them, IB, Roman Grosjean, DeCoach, Get My Pipe, Sprightly, and bringing up the rear, it is the Physicist. So, Funky, looking at the starting order right now, how do you like the strategies? Most people on the softs. Do you think Redeemer and Quick Tongue could get in the mix?
I'm loving it. Redeemer and Quick Tongue are most likely going to be the dark horses if they can bring in the race, the start of the race because if you see all the soft runners, the tires are going to, like you've been in the soft strategy too, the tires are gonna go off after like 3 to 4 laps maximum. So those two are gonna be really vital in this race today.
So an early safety car could potentially change the makeup of this entire race, couldn't it? Um, Looking at the team battle so far, McLarens have a pretty wide margin. The Ferraris have a wide margin. The Mercedes, though, are very close. I know Redeemer and Corner friends, so I'm not shocked to see that they are keeping it within arm's length of one another. Uh, Same with Boosted and SF, also very close. So, folks, if you're keeping track at home on your bingo cards, look out for the Haas team, look out for the Ferrari team, and definitely keep your eye out on the Mercedes team. Father Corn and Redeemer, both very quick drivers. They could make a lot of noise today if all goes according to plan. But 5 seconds to go, folks. That is the end of the session. We'll bring you much more and plenty more after this short break. This is PPR Esports, brought to you by PPR Esports. I am your host, Besteon, joined by Funky Cactus. This is Xbox Division 4. We'll be back in just one moment. All right, folks, and we are back from the pit lane, waiting for the formation lap to begin. Welcome back to PPR Esports Xbox Division 4 Friday Night Racing, brought to you by myself, Besteon, and Funky Cactus. Funky, can you regale us with a Shanghai experience, whether it be career mode or D1? Let us know. What's this track mean to you? How's it really treated you in the past?
Honestly, I actually love this track. It's one of my favorite tracks on the calendar. Usually in race trim, it treats me, I guess you could say, well. Qualifying is usually a bit tough, as like seen with my D1 run. But usually on race day, I can find like the grip in corners. I can make the right calls to the safety car, and overall have a like good time at this track.
Now, since I know most of these guys are in the cockpit getting ready to go, it would be worth asking, are there any tips you might be able to give them about Shanghai? Yourself being the D1 rookie, can you pass down any tidbits, any scraps of information for some of these guys?
Yeah, of course. Most important is just to keep your calm and on the start, and to not go too hectic in the turn one, or else you could get sideswiped. Like if you're on the inside and someone on the outside hits you, you could lose a wing and you get spun out. So it's like a lose-lose situation. Otherwise, you just wanna look for your pit box strategy. Look for people behind you. Look what they're going on. What the strat is around you, and just keep a calm and collected race.
Well, I hope that is sage advice for everyone at home. We'll have to see what these guys can do. That seems to be one car running really wide there at the first turn. Not sure what that was about, but this is the formation lap, folks. These drivers will be weaving and bobbing and trying to get some temp into those tires, get the rubber nice and turned on, if you catch my drift. Make sure that everyone is ready to go for the opening lap of this race. Interesting starting order. We got Night Shrimp on pole, followed by Big Mr. Brown. Let's take a look at their tire strategies. Your top 6 all on the same strategy. The only exceptions in the top 10 being Redeemer on those mediums, looking to go offset. I would not put it past him on those mediums to make up quite a few places here in the opening stint. Folks, and there is your predicted pit style strategy, brought to you by Amazon Web Services. You're looking at a soft, medium, or a soft, medium, hard, or SMH, as us millennials like to say. And the
Shake my
outside,
head.
Excuse me?
Shake my head.
Yeah, precisely. And outside of the top 10, we have Roman Grosjean to coach and get my pipe on those mediums. And the second to last and last, Physicist and Spriley are going to go opt for the softs, which should be, quote-unquote, the optimal strategy. A couple more corners to go here, folks. We'll have to see how this one pans out for the majority of our drivers. This is Xbox Division 4 Friday Night Lights, brought to you by PPR Esports. We'll have to see how this one goes. I'm very curious to see. There won't be too much strategy mix-up at the start, which to me signals that we should have a pretty busy pit stop window around, I'd say, what, you think lap 6, lap 7?
Yeah, maybe even lap 5 to get an undercut, but mostly should be around lap 6.
You know, and I wish I'd talked to you before my race because I pitted on lap 6 and I didn't get the undercut. Anyway, folks, as the last car approaches the grid, we will get ready for the start of this race in just a moment. And the lights are out. We are underway, folks, from Shanghai. Big Mr. Brown getting a great getaway there, but the Ferrari and Nystrom covering off really well into turn 1. He still has the lead. But as the Mercedes of Father Korn up the inside of both the Haas cars, and the Haas's have come together in turn 1. There are end plays flying everywhere, and SF looks to be off the track, or is that Bronny Man? Sorry. Boosted GMC off the track as we look down the rest of the field. That's the Alpha Tauri. Williams up the inside of the Mercedes, and his Quick Tongue looking to make a move up here into the P4 reign of things. But it's a Ferrari into the back of the Williams, and he spun him out. Oh, that will be tragic for both those drivers. They have got to be so mad at themselves. Already damaged. Expect to see an early pit stop by Bald Guy Racing. That is quite the turn of events. Ex-physicist up to P12 already. A great start by the Alfa Romeo driver, and we've got a lot of carnage on the opening lap, folks. But Nystrom leads Father Korn and Big Mr. Brown into the left-hander before the back straight. No damage for them. Big Mr. Brown only about 6/10 back on Father Korn as Nystrom sets the interval at about 9/10 ahead of Father Korn. That Ferrari is on fire, folks. But Father Korn already under pressure from Big Mr. Brown. Let's go on board with him now as that McLaren is flying down the back straight, being tailed very closely by SF as Redeemer is very much in tow. We'll have to see what happens here. Redeemer getting a monster start, already up 2 positions from his grid slot. Great start by the driver on the mediums. That strategy is working to a T for him so far. SF already putting Mr. Brown in the jackpot now, as Mr. Brown is the sandwich between this Mercedes and this Haas. We should see a couple cars drop into the pits right now. Ignore that DOS enabled, folks. This is only lap 2. Codemasters is not sure what planet we are on at the moment. But your order after the first lap, folks, it is Nystrom leading Father Korn and Big Mr. Brown. Those are your podium pairs to begin with. Behind them, it is SF, Brownie Man, Get My Pipe, Ex-Physicist, Boosted GMC, and it's changed again. Nystrom's dropped down or not. It is hard to say. Codemasters is trying to sober up and tell us what is happening. Funky, tell me what you saw in that first lap.
I saw Redeemer shoot up to 5th. That was crazy. On the medium tires, that's a really good strat. Oh no, Big Mr. Brown! He spun off. Oh wait, quick tongue. Oh my god, this carnage all over, I think it's turn 5. Around turn 5. Oh my. Oh, quick tongue is behind.
So, big issue for these guys. Wow, and Big Mr. Brown getting served a 10-second time penalty there for something. And that looks to be a car flying into the barrier.
Oh no!
Big Mr. Brown is retired from the session, folks. That's a safety car. That is a VSC in the early stages of this race. As IBNL had to pit on the opening lap. Let's go on board with him and hope we can get a nice view of that stricken McLaren. Funky, can you walk us through what happened there? Unfortunately, my camera was not pointed at the incident as it happened.
Yeah, it was crazy. All I saw was Big Mr. Brown go off into gravel. Oh, it seems like his car is done, so we won't be able to see the replay. But his car just slipped into the gravel, and behind him, Quick Tongue came out of nowhere and also slipped into the gravel. I have a feeling that Big Mr. Brown probably hit the wall, which probably infuriated him, and those dirty tires caused him to spin out into the barrier, causing the virtual safety car we have now. But it looks like we have some people that are in the pits now. They might be coming in for wing damage.
Yes, that is Bald Guy and Boosted. No surprise there, as they were struggling early on, it would seem, with some wing damage. Wow, that was a pretty hectic first lap. Probably the most hectic I think I've seen out of any of the divisions. Yep, that'll be a wing change there for the Haas car. Glad to see they haven't forgotten to screw on the tires all the way. Quick Tongue as well. Got a new front wing on there. Boosted GMC and Bald Guy getting out of the pits. Oof, going out of the medium tire. So looks to me as though Boosted and Bald Guy will have to pit once more on their current strategy. How's that?
Night trip, he spun.
Oh my, I'm missing all the action. My goodness, what happened? He's totally dropped it. Ooh, careful with the rejoin there, buddy.
Yeah, I was really close. Oh my. Almost getting exited.
Wow, so Night Shrimp, the leader, dropping it. So guess what, folks? True to form, we got two Mercedes running in the top three.
But it's actually two of my favorite Mercedes that are in the top three.
Wow, so Redeemer really having the race come to him as opposed to having to fight for it. So excellent work by the Mercedes. Oh, and that's Father Korn into the pits early. That will promote Redeemer up to P2, as now it's up to him to hunt down that Haas of SF1776. Wow, pretty hectic first couple of laps, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I'm drinking some Coke over here. My throat's still drying up. Oh my! I think SF's a really fast driver, but he's on the not the optimal tire. Over here, Redeemer, he's also like around the same level, and he's on the medium tires. I think we could have either a really good fight, or is this gonna be Redeemer breezing past?
On board. Speaking of, on board with Redeemer now, Funky. I think your prophecy may come true, as those softs are approaching their early cliff already. We're only 4 laps in. SF is not looking quick. Fastest lap, by the way, set by IB now there, 1:37.2. 1:37.2 is the time to beat. But no, SF with a full fuel load, really struggling early, and Redeemer is in the DRS window here as they fly into the left-hander. Let's see how Redeemer decides to attack this one. He's got plenty of ERS saved up here. Could we expect an early overtake here? SF kind of twitching a little bit through the right-hander there. Redeemer still in the slipstream. DRS just up ahead. Overtake is on for the Mercedes here. DRS is open now. Let's see. SF's in the middle of the track. Redeemer going to have to pick a side now. Too far back, it would seem, but he's have a look up the inside. He'll just tuck right back in. Take it to the hair. Oh, but SF's gone a little deep. He's gone very deep there, folks. He's closed that gap now to 3/10 now. One more DRS zone ahead. Turning in, using all that inside curb. Well done. Onto the power. Overtake is on. DRS is open. SF's got to make a choice here. Defend the inside or take the outside. Take the outside line. Redeemer's going to have a think, but it's not quite enough. SF slowing down quite a bit through the right-hander. Now, he's up the inside. Redeemer's up the inside. Down the slalom. Can he hold it? SF on that inside. A little bit of contact. Nothing crazy skews the lag, folks. It looks to me as though Redeemer may have gotten the move done.
Wow.
Just a little bit longer. And they're side by side now to drag race into the hairpin. Late on the brakes by the Mercedes. Oh, they made contact. They have made contact. The side pod and tire. The Mercedes and the Haas on a drag race yet again into the fast left-hander. This is where I spun out. Oh, my goodness, and he almost loses it. SF is doing everything he can. He knows he has to concede. He knows he must let that one go. Scintillating stuff at the front here, folks. My goodness. Funky, if you are SF, what is the play right now?
Oh my, okay. Right now for SF, it's just Sabian Redeemer stay in his DRS for as long as he can until his pit stop, which should be around this lap or next lap. But the thing is, if he gets in the hard quicker, then he can. Oh, we have a yellow flag in sector 3. Sorry to interrupt, but oh no, Brawny Man.
That's the Renault of Brawny Man. Oh, the championship challenger himself.
Oh, that's gonna really dent his confidence. But yeah, back to what I was saying about SF. As long as if he pits this lap, it's fine. Because the sooner he gets on those hard tires, the sooner he can create a gap to Redeemer. And yeah, he's doing exactly
wow.
Like that.
Thank you, Martin Brundle. As you said that, look who's into the pits. Like clockwork. SF going into the pits there. LDR Redeemer will inherit the lead of this race. My goodness. Folks, sorry, what were we saying?
Oh, it looks like SF's gone into the mediums.
Interesting. So he's opted for the softer strategy.
And Father Corn goes right past as SF exits. It looks like he's gonna get a pretty good gap on the hard tires.
Yeah, Father Corn on those hards. Nice and early. Father Corn of the 3 hard runners is IB Na and Quick Tongue on the other ones, as well as Night Shrimp there, it would seem. But Redeemer really making that medium strat work really well for him so far. It's up to him just to put in some purple sectors and manage that gap to get my pipe.
It looks like, surprisingly, he's in 4th.
What an excellent opening stint by the Red Bull driver, keeping his car out of trouble. Sprightly quietly making his way into the top 5 here. Oh, that's the Alpha Tower. We have Dakoshi. He's run wide. He's under the grass.
I think the coach might be struggling with some connection issues.
Yeah, I did. You're absolutely right. I did see the notification that he had disconnected. Looking at his screen, it doesn't appear his tires are that hot, and he's using a lot of his overtake very early.
Oh no, Night Shrimp. I think Night Shrimp's spun again.
Oh yeah, well he really has fallen down the order, now down to P11. So D4 really shaping up to be one of the most topsy-turvy divisions. Oh, that's Father Corn and SF going at it right there. I don't know if you caught that at the hairpin, but Father Corn had to concede to SF as SF kind of licked the stamp there. We'll have to see if the Mercedes driver has an answer.
Yeah. It looks like we have a few more stops now.
Sprightly and Physicist into the pits now.
Surprising, a lot of people are in the medium. More people than I ever thought.
I might have to concede. I could be to blame for that, Funky. And do you want to know why? I decried the hard tire after my race, and unfortunately, some people may have taken that to heart. But speaking of taking it to heart, Father Corn with a beautiful move up the inside there. A little bit of oversteer. Oh, it was going to be a nice drag race, but SF retains P5. A scintillating battle here for the 5th position. Corn just trying to keep it on the circuit and try to go back and fight the Haas here. He's going to dip a wheel onto the grass there. Really doing his best to try and stay in the jackpot, but SF is pulling away on those softer, medium compound tires, and unfortunately for Father Corn, I don't believe he will be in the DRS as we head into Sector 3 there.
Yeah, SF, I think he's on probably the ultimate strat. If he can pull out a gap and say a safety car or something comes out, he'll be on the ultimate strat. He can put on the mediums till the end.
That is so true. I never thought about it that way. 20 laps to go in this race, folks, and there has been quite a mix-up in strategies. Your leader, LDR Redeemer, out in front by 4 seconds, followed by Get My Pipe behind him. It is DeCoach in P3, 10 seconds behind, and it's Roman Grosjean in P4. Looking down the rest of the field, SF, Father Corn, Sprightly, Ball Guy, boosted. That's Night Shrimp just going to get past IB Na, it would seem, down the backstretch. Let's see if IB Na is going to come back at him here. Probably not. He'll have to let that one go as a Ferrari flies by him. IB Na, Quick Tongue, ex-physicist, and behind them it is Ronnie Mann with our pole sitter, Big Mr. Brown, the first retirement of this race.
Man, I got a feel for him. He had an absolute sensational lap. Well, I think, to be fair, I think Nightshare cut him off again in quali. But still, like, that was a really good lap by him. It's just that came going the first lap.
I was going to say, Funky, you know a thing or two about sensational qualifying laps and then a very tough race.
Yeah, I think one of the races I could go back to Japan of last year, Suzuka. It was a pretty heartbreaking moment when I saw that. I got pulled by a good big gap, but then after in the race I hit the grass, and then after I was down to the last. That was a pretty emotional day, like a victory that day. And it looks like Redeemer, he's in.
Redeemer into the pits. Let's see what he opts for. I'm going to go ahead and say medium tires just off the tip of my tongue.
Oh, wow. What a guess.
What a guess. Almost like I talked to him before the race. I won't reveal what the final change is. But you can
Final
probably
change,
deduce that for yourselves.
yeah, I guess you could say it's kind of predictable, but it depends on if he has a new or used set of that tire.
But we shouldn't be so soon to guess, because if there's an early safety car, he might just want to go onto the hards.
Yeah, that is true. Like right now he's behind SF, and I think these two are gonna like give us a battle worth watching. But yeah, if there's a safety car, both these drivers are gonna still be in contention of battling each other toward the end of the race win.
Into the hairpin here. SF not looking too speedy on those mediums at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like maybe he had trouble maybe warming the tires up. I mean, sometimes it, to us it may look like he's like struggling out there. He's having a hard day. But like, I guess you can refer back to like when I usually race and watch stream afterwards. Sometimes he's probably having the race of his life, but like to us it looks like he may be struggling.
That's a great point. And speaking from experience, I mostly credit the race of my life to when you and I went toe to toe in Monaco.
That was probably like one of the best races I've ever had. I can't. My heart was racing. That move, it was like either do it or die. That's basically it.
I'll never forget. I've never held anyone. I learned the art of defensive driving that day, because I never knew I could defend that hard. Granted, Monaco's got the car's width of a smart car, but
you were like absurd that day. Your defending was like probably one of the greatest defenses I've seen to this day.
Kevin Magnussen could eat his heart out. But no, speaking of strategies, and I know we're focusing on the race here. What now? We got a lot of great battles happening as we speak. Speaking of, it's LDR Redeemer on the back of Roman Grosjean here as he gets past SF into turn one. But that defensive driving is so key, especially in league races, because sometimes just holding someone behind for a lap or two can be a huge detriment to the race. Oh, Redeemer getting a great run out of the hairpin. Grosjean getting a poor run there. Let's see, into the left-hander now. How close can he run into that dirty air? We'll have to see. That Mercedes looks really turned on today, folks. Not to get all frisky with my phrasing, but I got to say the Black Arrow, it wants that podium, and at the moment, the guys in front of him are struggling on 9-lap old mediums. Into the left-hander here. Oh, he's going to go around the outside.
Oh
what a beautiful move by Redeemer.
Why did he get the coach? Oh my God.
And he's getting first. And he's in second place. Excuse me. A beautiful move by Redeemer. He has taken that one. Oh my goodness. Wow.
watching that from the rear view, because I was using the rear view camera of the coach's car, that was mental.
So look, Grosjean tries to go back up the inside of the Haas. It's not going to work there. And Quick Tongue is going to get served a penalty. Talk about insult to injury. But yeah, wow, Redeemer, what a move. Did you see that?
Yeah, I think this is like probably the race of Redeemer. He can win this race, like from what it seems like right now.
Since this is the last GP for this circuit this season, it's worth noting that there were some setup tweaks between when I raced and when he raced. So I'm not saying I'm like the test driver for the Mercedes team, but I definitely had a little bit to say, and there might be something. I might take some credit for this,
Yeah, you're like the Schumacher to Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg.
I was going to say more like the Esteban Ocon to Lewis Hamilton, but whatever you say, Funky. Sure, why not?
You're like the one who developed the car before, and then after here comes the younglings, and now they're going at it.
It's sad but true. I've got a bit of a Hulkenberg streak going on, and I'm not a fan of it.
Man, it'll come to you. It'll come to you.
Plenty of racing left for me, as well as the drivers on track, folks. Your order at the moment is get my pipe out in front on 10-lap old mediums. He will have to pit again. Redeemer is your de facto leader. At the moment, behind him, it is SF, followed by Roman Grosjean to coach, Father Corn, Sprightly, Boosted, Bald Guy, and Night Shrimp is your final point-paying car. Behind them, it is IB, Ronnie Man, Physicist, and Quick Tongue. Big Mr. Brown is your only non-racer of the day. Gap right now that we want to keep our eye on. Looks like Father Corn is chasing down to coach.
Sorry to barge in, but it also looks like Redeemer he's already created enough of a time gap to get my pipe. Who should have hit it at least like 1 or 2 laps ago. That
He's going to come out
he's
in
gonna
front.
yeah, like 8 second gap. That's crazy.
Yeah,
He's already
Redeemer's
3 seconds.
really
Yeah,
put.
sorry.
No, so you're right. You're absolutely right. He has put in the sectors now, and he is like, barring a mistake, he is de facto the leader.
God. He's 3 seconds. He's 3 seconds to SF already. He's going out. I don't want to say anything like to curse him.
Don't say it then, because it does work.
I'm not gonna wood.
I've given
But
you
I
the
thought-
commentator's curse a few times this season. I apologize.
No. I usually don't believe in that kind of stuff, but like for the fun of it. But I won't say anything against the Redeemer. Redeemer, he deserves it. He's like been having probably some of the worst times on this on F1 2020. But if he can redeem himself now, like his name, I think he'll show everyone that like he has potential for a world championship too. If I might check the standings. Yeah, looking at the standings, Redeemer is well, it says I think he's a reserve for one of the other drivers. Right now he's at 0 points. If he wins this race, that's 25 extra points. He'll already cut into like half the lead of maybe the top 4.
As he sets another fastest lap.
Ooh,
There were
yeah,
rumblings around Division 4 that he shouldn't be allowed to race here because he was too fast, in fact.
Redeemer, when Redeemer gets on it, like when I used to race I'm not talking about another league, but it's to show his race pace. He used to be sometimes even faster than me when he got on his form. I guess that's what is happening today, and I finally get to see it with my own eyes. I can't even talk right now. I'm losing it.
No, you know what that is, Funky? That's excitement. It is desire for racing. It is passion for the sport. It's all those things, and that's a fair reason to get flustered. So don't ever feel bad about that. And speaking of a passion for racing, Get My Pipe is now out on the circuit on brand new hard tires here, and he is chasing down the Mercedes of Father Korn here. Father Korn on those 8-lap old hard. So he has gone for the one-stopper here, and he's already being hunted by a car who is on a suboptimal strategy. So, like I said before, that one stop is a bit of a gamble, or as I like to say, a lost cause. Or maybe in Get My Pipe stream, a pipe dream. He's got a DRS now, Father Korn now into the hairpin. That's the Renault of Roman Grosjean up in front. The McLaren's going to pull out of it. He's going to go late on the brakes here. Let's see, folks. Constantine up into the hairpin. Grosjean looking very slow out of there. Korn already on his gearbox as we watch this from Get My Pipe's cockpit now into the left-hander. Oh, Grosjean into the pits. So that now releases Father Korn to put the power down with the DRS.
Spriley! Spriley, no!
Oh, no. That is the Red Bull. Oh, Spriley's into the barrier. He's turned upside down, it would seem.
That's a really heavy crash.
Oh, okay. That should be a full safety car, folks. Full safety car any minute now.
Yeah, Cody's really need to add a replay.
My
I would have loved that to see it.
goodness me, that Red Bull got turned. What happened?
I have a feeling that he might have lost it coming through like Alex Albon, except instead of swerving the other way, he ended up swerving too late and he ended up going into the wall.
Yeah,
with, like,
so instead of the gravel trap, he ended up in the grandstand. Unfortunate for the Red Bull driver, but it seems they've cleared the crash. There will not be a safety car. We are back underway, folks.
I think they got a crane in the stands.
Yeah, I was gonna say a bit of a souvenir collection for sale there. Condolences out to the Red Bull driver. That will be it for him today and his team, unfortunately. So Red Bull will continue to slip down the standings here as their sister team now has 2 cars into the points. DeCoach and Ibina there are both running deep on the first stint. I would expect maybe a lap 20 stop for both of these guys. But, folks, your leader, it is the LDR Redeemer, followed by SF in P2, about a 7-second gap behind him. It is Get My Pipe and Father Korn, with DeCoach trying to get back in the fight behind them. Boosted and Night Shrimp, really our closest battle. The Ferrari pair going out of here. Boosted getting a bad run out of the hairpins. Well, he's left the session. No surprise there. It's going to be a drag race now into the left-hander. Let's see, folks. That Haas has the inside line. The Ferrari's going to look to come around the outside, and he spun. Oh, no. Shrimp's lost it. Shrimp has lost it. He will have to get that car back underway. Very unfortunate. He needed to back out of that one about a second earlier than he did.
I don't really want to say anything, but like Night Shrimp's usually the jokester everywhere.
Oh,
And
don't worry. We're all a part of the meme channel. I know.
Yeah.
It's usually me, you, him, and Korn, and Racer 33.
But it looks like all the Vettel Spinala memes. I think they're coming back to haunt him now. No offense to you, Night Shrimp. Yeah, we're good friends.
No, certainly, and you would not be incorrect in saying that. I guess it's one of those things. You can clown Ferrari as much as you want, but Bonotto always finds you. Or as we call it, as affectionately know him, Spinato. Funky, speaking of Ferrari, have you had a chance to look at the timing sheet from FP1 and 2 today?
Yeah, it's actually been really crazy with Williams right behind Ferrari and Alpha actually in front of Ferrari. So maybe 1950s now.
Yeah, it's not looking great for the prancing horse. I sincerely worry that this could be a really long weekend for Ferrari, and I have Charles on my my fantasy team, so I may just opt for the 10-point deduction and sub in Checo.
Yeah. But like the main thing that's been picking at me is McLaren. I feel like they're gonna be the next Mercedes once this era is over. They got the Mercedes engine for next year. If they can work on a design that can fit the Mercedes engine perfectly for 2022, they can rival Mercedes and technically be the next Ferrari and make it like we were in the 2008 era.
Oh, and I would absolutely love that if Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris could be in a title-challenging car, as Boosted GMC runs into the pits there. No, I think that's a great bit of analysis and insight. I do think that McLaren has all the potential. They've shown it all year. Zach Brown, I like to call him the paper chaser because this guy is like a magnet when it comes to sponsors. He just puts on that SoCal charm. He calls him dude. He pats him on the back, rolls him a joint, and he says, "Hey man, this McLaren thing's pretty cool. You should check it out sometime." And he's got the Crown Prince of Bahrain back in the whole squad. So they've got the money, they've got the knowledge, they've got the engine supplier they need. You're absolutely right. McLaren, Mercedes, on the rise. Keep an eye out for them in 2022 and beyond. It's a shame that Carlos has to leave. I'm a huge Carlos Sainz fan. I was really hoping he would stay on, but there maybe was some pretense where they kind of expected him to move on, and they'd make Lando their number one.
Yeah, and also to be fair, but like since Carlos is on Ferrari now, he's gonna struggle next year. But I'm pretty sure it's on a 2-year contract, right?
Yes.
So yeah, so for 2022, we know that Ferrari's gonna have the biggest budget. That they're probably gonna make some sort of comeback to getting some wins. I think Carlos will be the chance for wins with Ferrari team.
Yeah, and Louis Camilleri said as much himself, as well as John Elkin, who's the chairman over there at Ferrari. He said we would be challenging for wins come 2022, and the truth is I don't doubt that. I have all the faith in Ferrari to get back to their winning ways. It's not unknown to them to have down periods. If you look back at their history, they had bad cars in the 90s. They had bad cars in the early 80s. This is not a new thing to that organization. So obviously we all want to see them bounce back. We want to see the prancing horse in the top 3. They've been a part of the sport for so long. They carry so much history between Schumacher and now recently with Sebastian and Charles. So but it'll be really exciting to see once those new regulations come in. And I got to ask you, as since you actually being a real life racing driver, how do you feel about the move away from aerodynamics towards ground effect? Do you think it's going to make the racing better, or do you think we might be looking at kind of a repeat of what most regulation changes do?
I feel like it'll be a lot more better these days with all the technology advancement that we have. I'm kind of looking forward to it in a way because it's obviously a new thing. Straying away from aerodynamics, you can see the cars today, the wings are so complicated. Going back to 2018, like remember those like chiplets on the top, like front of the wing?
Yes, I
It,
do.
it's it, yeah, it gets it's starting to get little bit too complicated. So I think they're going the right direction. And
Oh, that's good to hear because I myself have never driven a race car or a go kart in any competitive fashion. So, all I know is what I see in video games and what I feel in video games, which is kind of 1/10 of 1% of what the reality is really like. Um,
no, I feel like sim racing is pretty close. It's getting closer, day by day, especially with like the rig you have at home. And speaking of like racing, SF's made a stop and redeem. My pipe looks like to be in contention for the win now.
oh, you think so?
Yeah, because Redeemer's gonna if like Redeemer starts to pick, 'cause he has to do his secondary mandatory stop on different tires. I think if he can the way he's going right now, he can create a gap for at least 2 more laps, so he can get even closer. And then after once he's on the prime tire, which is either way it's gonna be fresh. He could probably get back and get my pipe.
Yep, we could be on for a bit of a last lap battle. You're absolutely right with the intervals stand right now. You're right. Redeemer has not switched tire choices, so he does have to go in. He's probably going to opt for the softs because there hasn't been any safety cars.
Yeah, it
So
looks like the gamble may have not paid off. We unless we can we see like maybe somebody retires. Well, I don't want to say that, but like it could happen illegally.
and speaking of near retirements, do you know who we've got battling each other on track right now? That's Quick
We
Tongue.
got
Quick Tongue is off. He's kept the car in one piece.
yeah, and he was looking really competitive with medium tires and qualifying, but it looks like his race pace is starting to fall apart. I think he has a lot of speed. If he makes it back in the next race, he can do really well.
Pardon me, I actually unplugged my my headset for just a minute there. Uh, quite the mix-up of the order. The gaps are getting pretty substantial at this stage. We're looking at about 6 to 4 seconds between each car. Closest on-track battle at the moment that I can spot would be Night Shrimp trying to hunt down SF on those brand new mediums, and SF's got about an 8-second gap to close to the to coach ahead, who probably is, I would say he's pitting this lap. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, he's doing an amazing. He's doing a battle on the tires. 18 laps on the mediums. Oh my god.
At Shanghai, no less. Yeah, how about that monster stint by Vettel at Barcelona?
I think that's why he's one of my favorite drivers. He's 30. A lot of people were saying like through last year for him to retire, he's old. You know, he's done what he wants. But like it's about what he wants to do. Hamilton's 35 and he's still winning championships. If Vettel gets the right car, I think he could probably challenge too. It's just this year's been kind of.
Well, didn't they say he was supposed to be announced for Aston Martin this week, but it still hasn't come?
Ooh. I'm awaiting that. I think it's either gonna be like right before the race or it's gonna be right after. If there's something.
After the race, it'd be pretty ballsy, especially if Checo ends up having a monster weekend. Maybe that's what this weekend is. They're gonna give Checo a chance.
Yeah, it could be that. Checo's like really dominant around here in the first place. If he can do good, I think he could retain a seat, and Vettel might get a seat. It's like this is really close to me. I like both drivers, but like I
Yeah.
just want to be one.
Oh, Redeemer's just disconnected, so
Oh no!
it's okay. He's known for it, but that gap will come down. Just give him a sec. He'll be back.
But yeah, hold on. I think I might send him an invite.
But as I was saying, though, do you feel? I really feel like Lawrence Stroll is the type of guy just like slipped Checo like a cashier's check for like $1 million and be like retire on the spot or leave the team.
I don't think Checo's the type of guy to do that. He's already clearly has a really high financial background. But
Well, I was gonna say he's backed by Carlos Slim, who's the richest man in Mexico.
yeah, basically. I think that if Checo does something happens that he has to leave, I think he'll do pretty well in like maybe say like endurance racing, like LMP, because he has the endurance and he has the speed too.
Most F1 drivers who were consistent end up winning world endurance titles.
Yeah, like we could say Nico Hulkenberg for example. Like he may not have an F1 podium, but winning the Le Mans is one of probably the greatest achievements in like someone's motorsport career.
I was going to say, and another great name to add to that list. If you look at Fernando Alonso's teammates when he was at Toyota Gazoo Racing, they're predominantly former F1 guys who are very quick. Speaking of issues, it looks like IB's lost it there on the hairpin and damaged his wing.
Poor guy, it's gonna. But like I think he's doing a mega job on those hard 17 laps. That's much more than I did at D1.
It is a deep stint, no doubt. If you'll to pardon me 1 sec, I'm going to use the restroom. Funky, I will leave it with you. I'll be back in just a moment.
Yeah, of course. Once we see the kind of upgrade between LDR Redeemer and Get Me My Pipe, we will see how much further LDR Redeemer can get after his pit stop. And it looks like it's about 10 seconds, so Redeemer lost 4 seconds with that disconnection. Behind them, we have Fathercorn, who looks set for P3, depending on how Redeemer's track goes. As in the pit stops at China, we lose around 22 seconds. So for now, he's gonna be ahead of SF, but SF's on new mediums, 3 lap old medium. So if SF can bring down that gap, he can probably challenge the Redeemer for a podium. But either way, it looks like we're gonna have a spicy end to this race. So otherwise, we have Boosted GMC who's closing in on the coach who has recently come out of softs. So we might see the coach go for the fast lap or maybe even top 5 finish with the pace he's going at.
Just joining back now, Funky. I just caught what you were saying to Coach on fresh softs this late in the game.
Yeah, he's on I think he's on one of the best tracks because if you look at where he started in terms of like position, oh my god, I'm so new to this. Okay, he went up 5 positions. If he can get to P5, he'll have gone up 7 positions, and that's. Oh wait, I think I have another driver of the day. It's probably Get Me My Pipe who went up 11 positions. That is absolutely
And
crazy.
he with the fact that Redeemer still has to pit one more time, guess what?
Oh my god, that's probably one of the best.
Look at the gap
drivers.
there. Yeah, Redeemer would come out behind his teammate.
Yeah, it looks like Fathercoin's actually losing time to Get Me My Pipe because he's on a really, really old tire. So we could see maybe Redeemer challenge for P number 2 and Fathercoin get challenge for P number 3 with SF closing in.
Could be a very, very tasty finish to this race, folks. As Night Shrimp dives into the pits there, SF will stay out on those medium tires. But, folks, the driver we've all got our eyes on right now, it's LDR Redeemer because he is due for a pit stop, and he is going to need to get this done ASAP Rocky because that gap is now down to 20 seconds for his teammate.
The coach.
With a fast
Coach
slap.
is on fire.
Yeah, he's got those softs on at the end of the race. The track temp is high. The fuel load is low. I would say this is the best time to get purple sectors.
Of course, Roman Grosjean's right in front. If you can make the most out of these tires in the beginning and just hold on for the last few laps, a top 5 finish from P12 is a really good drive.
Oh, completely. Completely. You got to take a win when you got to win.
Oh, and it looks like...
is Redeemer
Roman
out of
Grosjean.
gas?
No, Redeemer?
What is going on with him? He just ran into the wall.
Oh my god. What's happening?
I don't know. He just let off the gas.
I think his controller may have disconnected. Or something like that happened.
Wow.
Wait. Oh no, I think I've seen this before. It's a glitch where... Oh no, wait, Fathercorn. Oh my god. That was close. Oh, SF's gonna see too late. Oh my... They all think he's ghosted, I think.
What
But
just
they see last
happened?
second. I think he's got DSQ'd. Like the game, it happened to a few drivers I've seen before, and they just get completely like screwed over in the race.
Wow, folks, if you could believe it, Codemasters just
really
took out the leader.
Oh my god, I feel so bad for him.
Wow. Wow, he was driving a gem.
Oh my god.
Wow, so all right, so Redeemer's out of this one, folks. All eyes now on Get My Pipe, who's inherited the lead on a bit of a technicality, but you know, win's a win. So let's see if he can get this one home. Father Corn, 9-second gap back. There, he disqualified from the session, parked in a dangerous location. It seems they did that for him.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure just what just happened there.
Oh, that's really gonna hurt his confidence.
We'll have to head to the paddock pass after to find out what happened there. Maybe some team orders. Maybe Father Corn hit the engine go boom button.
You know, that's kind of cool if they added engine failure to online racing. But like, I guess if they do, they probably add like a integrated league mode where your engine actually deteriorates over the season.
That would be cool. I've wished they would have done that a while ago.
Yeah, grid penalties and everything. I really want them to add start from pit lane. Like if somebody crashes out in qualifying or they have like an engine failure, starting in the pit lane seems a lot more better than just having a 60-place grid penalty and starting from the back.
I am surprised that Codemasters hasn't found a way to make that work. It seems like a pretty easy fix.
Yeah, mostly the car like stays where the light is, the pit light, and once the drivers go on, all the whole grid's gone. Then they release the other drivers.
Well, typical Codemasters. That makes too much sense for them to actually pay attention to. But folks, controversy abounds tonight. We'll have to see how that one plays out in the post-race presser. But at the moment, all our gaps staying steady, but it looks like GMC and Grosjean in a bit of a dogfight here with Night Shrimp coming up behind. It's a battle for fifth at the moment, folks. Keep an eye on this Renault here, Roman Grosjean, who is the cork in the bottle at the moment.
Yeah, looking at penalties right now, incidents, it looks like there's a lot of these drivers have kept a really, really clean race. We have Quick Song with a few penalties, Physicist. So most of the top runner drivers have kept this race fairly clean. Really, really low number of incidents.
It is important to note that Shanghai is a very tricky track to get time penalties on. Like, you got to be cutting corners, like really going out of your way almost, off the racing line.
Yeah, exactly. Usually, the only times I usually start picking up penalties is either on the first lap when it's really hectic, or say when the safety car and you're on the prime tires. When I'm pushing really hard, I tend to like start going off like that little bit more the white line, and then after I end up getting a few warnings. Oh shoot! Yeah, Father Corn into the pit.
Really, this late in the race?
I think he's actually doing the big brain move. He's gonna get P3 and he's gonna get faster the lap of the race because SF was already closing him in. He was only less than a second away. He's gonna go on the soft now, stay ahead of the coach, who's probably on tires that are probably a bit hurt now. Because let's see the whole part. Oh, the coach is actually coming down the pit right now, and it's gonna be pretty close between them.
Nice Shrimp with a beautiful move there on Grosjean.
Oh.
He will inherit P5.
And the coach is through, but Father Corn's right behind him on the fresh tires.
Yeah, I would say Corn will make short work of the coach as the coach rides right, cuts the grass there at turn 2. I don't see this battle lasting very long.
Now that since poor Redeemer, he's been retired, the coach is on for a P3. Oh my god, Father Corn down the inside, going deep. The coach coming back for the switchback. Oh my god, this is gonna be a battle worth watching.
Thank goodness you're watching it because my Xbox completely lagged out.
Oh no.
Yeah, but the coach now behind Father Corn from what I can see.
Yeah, the coach is behind Father Corn. Father Corn, he's obviously going second behind SF now. But now SF can be the commanding race second, and Father Corn get his fastest lap of the race. So you can't see anything, or?
No, we've cleared up. It lagged out in the middle of the overtake because that's just my luck this week. I don't know if you saw the PC Division 1. I had my entire feed cut in the middle of a three-way battle for P1.
Yeah, I've seen like throughout like even the D1 races this week. You've been like the internet's like been killing. It's not only I think down to you, it's down to the providers that are struggling through these difficult times.
Yeah, and here's the thing, man. When I used to stream D1 at my old place back in California, I had the Primo internet package from Comcast at the time, and I now live in a condominium complex out here in Florida, which means I have internet provider given to me because I signed a lease and like, oh, well, welcome to the building. This is your internet. Like, no more, no less.
Oh.
This is what everyone's given.
Oh.
So,
Well, I think, wait, so you could probably get the Wi-Fi extend. Oh, wait, is it been raining? The last lap?
is it raining?
It's raining. It's raining.
Oh, I
It's
can see
really,
that now in
really
the
sunny.
Halo. Wow, yeah, it is raining, folks. Groggy Oregano, to answer your question, there is in fact rain on the penultimate lap of this GP, though I don't think it'll be too much of a factor as most of these guys will opt to kind of limp the car home.
Yeah, hopefully this nobody gets caught out. I think probably the most the guys that probably struggle the most is either publish one of those like brand new softs or get my pipe on the old hard. Or sorry, Ibna. Ibna 24 lap old hard.
Yeah, he's really pushed that strategy as far as he can, as GMC now is trying to make a run on Grosjean here on those mediums with moisture coming down all over the circuit. He's got the overtake on.
He's got DRS. And the flip open.
Yeah, this could see lap 28 there in the top left, folks. The leader is on the final lap here. Late on the brakes. Let's see. Grosjean keeping it clean there. Boosted, really trying to get the move done. Into the final corner. The rain is really starting to come down here, folks. One more lap on these hard my goodness, he is really revving in 7th gear. Grosjean second to the left. GMC having a look. Track getting more and more wet as time goes on.
My God.
Grosjean really holding it here through the slalom. What were you going to say, Funky?
I was thinking it's like a typhoon. Oh, Roman Grosjean losing it a bit. Oh, and boosted at GMC gets a run, and I think that's the move done.
That should be it. I don't think Grosjean wanted to fight him that much. That's kind of the vibe I got.
I'm liking this Roman Grosjean more. The one in F1 just likes to move around a bit.
I won't say who, but there was a couple incidents in my own league race where someone moved a little late, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it slide because it's a video game. But
Yeah.
it
At the end of the day,
happens.
it's
I want to say.
DRS. Yeah, DRS disabled as the Gamma Pipe comes around the final corner. Somehow limps the car home. And he does a better job than SF, who struggles a little bit.
Congratulations to Get My Pipe for the win. SF with a solid drive today. He will take very good care of this car.
We have a
Ferrari?
Yeah, I think it was a.
It's Bald Guy. Bald Guy's got wing damage. He's off the circuit. It is pouring cats and dogs out here, folks. Cats and dogs in the last lap of the race.
So Bald Guy has some damage, and right behind him is Brawny Man, who can come back in this race and get a P8.
Brawny Man does have the downforce advantage, but look at that moisture.
Oh,
My goodness.
Yeah.
This is
There's a lot of
Hockenheim all
moisture.
over again. He's all over the
Oh,
place.
no. Not a battle. Oh, no, wait. That's 2019.
Yeah, I was going to say, 1 year early there. Folks, as we round the final few corners here, congratulations to our winner, Get My Pipe, followed by SF, and of course, Father Corn in the Mercedes. Congratulations to him, bringing it home on those softs. Behind them, it is Night Trim boosted to coach Grosjean, Bald Guy, Brawny Man. At the moment, IB Not looks to be bringing it up in P10 as he comes through the final hairpin here. Behind them, it'll be Physicist, Quick Tongue, and your only non-finishers of the day are Sprightly, Big Mr. Brown with that big crash earlier, and LDR Redeemer with that punishing glitch. So,
all three DNFs really hurt.
yeah, none of those really seemed to be anyone's fault. It was just an unfortunate incident there of racing. And as you can see, yellow flags in Sector 3 as Physicist has to slow it all the way down just to get through the final corner.
I think he's running out of fuel.
You're right. Yeah, he is running. That car is limping home. Quick Tongue, unfortunately, not quite enough track and dry track running left to get it done. But folks, that is Xbox Division 4. Congratulations to Get My Pipe on the win from Shanghai. We'll take you now to the podium celebration, and we'll have a quick chit-chat just once more. Driver of the day, there he is, folks. Not just your winner. Funky, you called that. It is Get My Pipe.
Yeah, well, I'm more happy because I just got an achievement called grab the popcorn. But yeah, he's done an absolutely crazy drive today. I can't wait to get to the podium interviews. Talk to him about like, oh, look at him dancing.
Good old podium dance from everyone. Spray that champagne. Have yourself a shower, folks. Congratulations again to SF. No, excuse me. Get My Pipe, SF, and Father Corn. Excellent race by all. That will do us from here tonight at PPR Esports. I gotta ask, Funky, any closing thoughts before we head out of here?
I don't know about that. I just had a really good time tonight. I really thoroughly enjoyed this commentating this race. Overall, yeah, Grandma Pipe doing an amazing drive from P13 to P1. A lot of the drivers today, like the coach coming P6 from P12, a bunch of crazy drives today.
Certainly, certainly. Lots of crazy drives, lots of crazy moves, and a crazy finish to the race, folks. Your finishing order, one more time, it is Get My Pipe, followed by SF and Father Corn. Those are your podium finishers. Night Shrimp boosted to Coach Roman Grosjean, Bold Guy, Brawny Man, and Ibinaw is your final points finisher. Behind them, it is Physicist, Quick Tongue, Sprightly, being Mr. Brown, and LDR Redeemer with that unfortunate glitch. Once again, folks, I am your host, Best Teon, with Funky Cactus tonight for Xbox Division 4. Join us next Monday for the PC Division.